can we talk about this episode, please? Because
Yes, let's do it.
I have been very 50-50 with this season. I've been very,
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's
Yep,
okay.
yep.
Everyone else seems to be raving about it, going, "Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, I've been crying. This is
Yeah, yep.
emotional. I'm in love with everybody. Let's give them a cuddle." Where I've gone, it's good. It's solid.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I've been itching for something wonderful. And I
Mm.
felt that this episode finally delivered something special.
I think very much the same, actually. I mean,
Mm,
I found this season myself so far very hit and miss
mm.
compared to season two, where I was just blown away,
Wow, yeah.
on board with everything. And I really liked that, the early in Rebels where they had that Firefly type sort of vibe about the
Mm.
show. I think I've mentioned this before.
Yes.
And you had the crew and their weekly adventures and stuff. And now, obviously as we're getting closer to Rogue One and to A New Hope, the timeline's getting closer. The stakes are getting higher. Things are
Mm.
getting bigger, which it has to.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. But I've just found this season, for all the looking forward to Thrawn being involved and
Mm.
stuff like that, he just, to me, hasn't lived up to, what we were expecting out of the
No.
character. And there's just been too many, like, I don't know, filler episodes
Yep.
for some reason. And I believe that this week's coming up is a filler episode as well.
Mm.
But yeah, like you're right. This episode we've
Oh,
just seen was just it was just Star Wars
it
for me.
was.
It was just everything I love about Star Wars was just in this show.
Mm.
Like you said, we had the Y wings
Yep.
that we're talking about. They looked fantastic. Yeah, just the whole. Apologies to anybody who hasn't seen the
Yeah.
episode yet. But
Spoiler
just
alert.
yeah, spoiler alert.
Spoiler
But just
alert.
the visuals in this
Oh, that was
episode were just
stunning.
spectacular.
Stunning.
I forgot I was watching animation there a couple of times.
I did
And
as well, especially in the nebula.
oh, wasn't that fantastic?
Oh,
That was just
beautiful.
amazing.
Beautiful.
And I've never seen that in Star Wars yet, and it makes sense. Like using a nebula the way they took out the Star
So
Destroyers.
cool.
Was just fantastic.
So
And
cool.
yeah, I mean, a couple of people, and I do agree a little bit. Having Gold Leader in it,
Mm.
was your name Old Dutch?
Yeah,
It was fantastic to see him in because obviously he's in Rogue One as well.
of
So
course.
that you've got all that's coming together. But yeah, it has been mentioned, that he seemed to take orders from Ezra really quickly.
That was
once he got in
my
the
one
cockpit.
thing. Yeah, I had one
Yeah,
little
like,
gripe,
oh,
and
let's do that.
I'm being
hang
picky for
on,
picky.
hang
But
on, son.
it's like, how old are you, boy?
Yeah.
How long have you been flying for? I'm sorry, I forgot.
I loved
Um,
I loved how the Y wing actually came up from underneath into
oh,
and you had that the seal
yeah, that force field seal that just.
force field. Yeah, that was great. I really thought that was cool.
But
Well,
it,
yeah.
it really just, even from the very beginning, where like we've got to go and pick up this cargo,
Yeah.
and of course it's Mon Mothma,
Oh,
who
yeah.
was voiced by Genevieve O'Reilly, who was of course
Yeah.
Mon Mothma in Revenge of the Sith, which we didn't see, and of course Rogue One. But I loved her and Hera's relationship in this film.
Mm.
You could really sense that these two are people who are going to be friends. Now,
Yeah.
this once again leads a little bit. I felt like when I watched this, I was getting chills every time they spoke, and I thought, it feels like it gave me a micro hope of that little theory I was toying around with, what happens to Hera the ghost and everything in at the end of the show in Rogue One, because I feel that Mon Mothma would be charging her to protect everything at all costs. And I just felt that they all have such a deep-seated relationship when it gets to the end of the show. And but their back and forth, and with regards to Hera being out in the front lines and Mon Mothma, of course, being in the Senate and of course escaping the Senate, and seeing both sides of their arguments for a rebellion or a rebel alliance and everything there. But the speeches that were written was so well done, and every time I had Mon Mothma talk and giving the holographic speech and the speech at the end, I have to admit, I actually, that was the first time I've really gone, I'm actually getting quite emotional when she was speaking at the very end, and we go to Dantooine, and then that links to A New Hope, and I'm like going, oh my God, this is just freaking amazing. Now, all I was hoping was they'd fly down and the planet would look like from the Knights of the Old Republic, and then I probably would have just passed out from excitement. All the blood would have just gone somewhere else, and I would have passed out straight up, and I was just gonna gone, oh my goodness, Dantooine looks exactly like Knights of the Old Republic. It's a reference to A New Hope. It looks like the best Star Wars video game ever, and Mon Mothma's there, and the whole Rebel Alliance is now turned up. Oh my goodness, I think I've just given birth. It just felt like that moment for me in the show. But, you know, Thrawn he went from a very, we had an episode just recently where we got to see a bit of Thrawn getting physical and everything. I'm thinking, oh, we're finally seeing Thrawn. And then with such an important mission, someone just goes, hey, I'll put my hand up. Can I have a crack at it? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure, you just do it. I'm thinking, no, this would have been the perfect opportunity for Thrawn to go toe-to-toe. Yeah, definitely. And I think it was a missed opportunity in this episode to have him more involved. Again, he would have lost because that's what would have happened. But it would have fueled his anger more to succeed. And he's not there to it's like, oh, someone else failed. But what have I done to stop this Rebel Alliance? I've just been throwing people at him. You know, it's like, right. Oh, hang on, who's number 92 today? Yep, you've got this mission. Oh, hang on, it's like going to the butchers, you know. It's like, oh, I'll just call that number. That's what Thrawn's doing at the moment. He's just pulling numbers and going, oh, it's your turn.
I'm sort of hoping, with his reputation as a master strategist, that this is all going to come to some sort of fruition and make sense as to why he's doing what he's doing as well. I'm hoping, right? I'm hoping that this is what's going to happen. And, I mean, the thing is, he's too much of an important character and too much of a fan favorite not to give him the service and the respect that his character deserves. And so I'm, until Thrawn's story is all completely done and dusted, I've just got this hope that they're just going to turn the whole thing around and it's just going to make sense as to why he's been doing what he's doing. So
but like I say, the music and everything in this episode was on point. And that final shot, that's really when everything sort of happened for me. I had the speech, Dantooine and everything, and that shot of the ghost, and then them all coming out of hyperspace. And that moment, I was like, this is it. We're actually about to tread into territory. We're getting closer and closer to those events of Scarif. We're getting closer and closer to those events now of A New Hope. And, of course, not this week in the US, but the following week we have Obi-Wan and Maul. So, and then the week after that, we have the finale. So, it's going to be interesting. So, we're going to have the finale just prior to Celebration. Of course, we'll have the Celebration trailer drop. It'll be interesting to see who they're going to focus, who's going to be the villain focus for Season 4. Will it be Thrawn again? They might carry this forward because of the novel coming through. But Secret Cargo is the episode I have longed for. But Season 2 of Rebels was perfection on the plate. But this is I think this episode, I would rank up there with the Vader Ahsoka episode at the end of Season 2. And for me, I really still love the premiere episode of Rebels. I think it had everything going for it. And of course the ending with Obi-Wan's message. I put that up there with those two episodes because I just think it was an absolute standout. The acting was on point. Vanessa Marshall did an amazing job with Hera in that and really gave a lot of gravitas to the situation.
Actually, Hera's my favorite out of all of the characters. So I just really like her character, and just what she brings to the show is just very, very good.
Well, she's the heart and soul of the Rebels team, and that's why I think the show has to end with her.
Well, which makes sense, she was mentioned in Rogue One, and I've got a feeling that Season 4 is going to be the final one.
Yeah, I'm
hoping Season 4 is going to be the final one. I think they'll just be milking it if they go past Season 4, and another 20 odd episodes, and then we come up to the last two episodes being the Battle of Scarif. And obviously, like we were talking last week, Kanan and Ezra aren't around.
No.
In the Battle of Scarif, and Mon Mothma says, Mr. Bridges, reputation precedes her and precedes him and all that sort of thing in this episode we've just seen.
Yeah.
So she knows that.
She knows who Ezra and Kanan are.
They're Jedi.
That's right. And she knows.
And then to go and see your Jedi friend, she tells Bail Organa in Rogue One. You're like, well, what's happened to the other guys?
That's what I mean. They're more young, fit, and healthy. Why can't we get them? So that's what I mean. I think that episode reinforced a very tiny part of my crazy theory that Kanan and Ezra are gone, whether death or not. But I really think it needs to end with her sacrifice in that battle. And like I say, I imagine that final episode, Hera going through of how she met Kanan and so, like, not like a flashback episode in the sense of we see like a clip show, as they would say in Hollywood, the clip show episode, and showing clips from other episodes. There'll be fresh scenes of little bits that we haven't seen throughout the 4 years of her going through that motion. And and that last scene of her as the tentative floor is flying off, and Vader's ordered, blast that ship, disable it, and she gets in front of those blaster bolts, and just before it cracks in the hyperspace, her ship blows up. It gets destroyed, and that's her ultimate sacrifice. As she helped Hope, she helped Hope escape, and I think that would be fitting for Hera, the crew. I think Zeb and Chopper are on board. I think Sabine's off doing her own thing, and that's where she'll stay. She might pop up every now and again. But I think Kanan and Ezra are gone, and I think they'll meet their end by the hand of Darth Vader. I honestly think that Vader will make a return in season 4, and it'll lead to that, but I don't think we'll see it. It'll be implied, like I think it was implied in Rogue One ever so subtly. So I'm just looking forward to seeing how it plays out from now. I mean, I'm sure this final episode of season 3 is going to end up on a cliffhanger as well. So and then we'll go straight into celebration with this season 4 reveals and everything there. So we shall wait and see. It's going to be interesting. I like I say, I'm looking forward to it. Yep. So if I had to give Secret Cargo a score out of 5, it'd be a 6 in my book. It was above and beyond. A great episode. Visuals are stunning, and it's brought us to a point now where we're about to intertwine with everything in the Star Wars universe.